Okay. Okay. Turn that off. Nope. Turn it off. Turn it off. Okay, so today doing something a little different because people have been telling me I need to do a YouTube series of this. I'm still gonna be streaming it because there's a lot of bro. Bro. That is quite the question to be your first chat message. I don't know if that's an appropriate thing to say as your first message in a chat. I don't know if that's I don't know if this is the place for that, brother. Anyway, anyway. Uh so people have been telling me I need to make a YouTube series of this playthrough that I've done, this hardcore world. Now I don't want to take the full leap into just making it into videos because there's a lot of discourse on YouTube about air quotes um fake hardcore series because, and I understand where people are coming from. It's very easy to fake a hardcore video. It's very easy to um it's very easy to make it seem like you're playing through a hardcore world for hundreds of hours or hundreds of days and not actually survive through hardcore. So I want all of my VODs to continue existing as I keep playing this world. I want people to be able to look back and see as much of this as they can. Unfortunately, I can't prove that I never died back in the Twitch days, but like every moment that I've played in this world, you can go and look at currently on my streams. There have been like less than 5 times, I would say. Actually, probably around 5 times that I've logged in to this world for like a minute to grab a screenshot for a thumbnail or uh something like that. But other than like logging in for like a couple of minutes, every instant that I've ever been in this world, I've done streaming. And I want to keep that up. But for people who can't make it to live streams or want something to like get rid of all like the empty space because there's a lot of like boring stuff, because I stream every moment of it. There's a lot of boring stuff where like I just go mining for like an hour. I just go fishing for like an hour. I just place dirt. I've been placing the dirt around this temple for like days now. And that's not exactly exciting or interesting. There's nothing making that like noteworthy or anything. But at the same time, so to prove that nothing bad has happened, I stream anyway, right? So I want to keep up streaming everything I do on this world, just so that it's all cataloged, it's all there. But I want videos to be available. So we're going to do something a little different today to facilitate that. I'm going to do both. I'm going to live stream and then have the live streams chopped up into videos to be a little bit more engaging for people. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't be talking the way that people normally do for a video, because I will be talking to chat sometimes and there will be clips of that. But I think that's an okay middle ground. I think that way I can keep streaming it so people can't like call this fake or anything like that. And I can make videos for it to make it have it a little bit more reach and be a little bit more accessible for some people who can't stick around for the streams or don't have like the time or get bored or something like that with the downtime. Could you technically show the statistics? I mean, I could, but that still wouldn't prove anything. As far as like, I could there like let's say I wanted to record an episode, I could just make a copy of the world, then log in, record my episode, and if I die, just delete that one and go to the copy, right? And then redo everything. And then basically like try over and over again. Let's say like I had a mission and it was like, guys, we're gonna go and spawn 3 ender dragons and kill them because I need more end gateways. I could make a copy of the world, start my recording, jump in the end and fight the ender dragon. If I killed the ender dragon, everything's fine. Then I just use that footage and we're good. Let's say the dragon kills me. All I do is disconnect, delete that world, and then play the copy. And the copy is basically a save, like a think of it as like a save state to right before I jumped into the portal. There's been a lot of like talk and like accusations and pointed fingers at hardcore series to that capacity, and I would hate to be called under scrutiny with like I have been I have been true to the rule on this world. I have popped my totem once. That's the closest I've ever been to dying. Um, and if I were to die, I would just move on. You know, I would just move on and do another project, do something else. But I want people to be able to believe that. So to add some validity, we will keep streaming. We will keep streaming. I'll keep streaming this world every time that I play on it. With few to no exceptions. There will be no off-camera mining, right? It will only ever be actually that would be a fun statistic. Does it tell you if you died if you popped a totem? Does that count? I'm curious. It probably won't even show on here. Hang on. Player kills 0 times hit, targets hit 0. What is that? Number of deaths 0. There you go. Look at that. And we can't see the game. I don't know if that's intentional. I mean, I wasn't doing anything. I was literally just sitting up, like walking around up on top of the monument while I monologued. But yeah. So today I'm gonna do a full tour of everything, talk about the history, where we've come from, everything that we've done, all the different eras and sagas, and all the different times, and then I will also pull up the backups for this world one by one, and we will fly around in them in spectator mode and see the difference, see where we've come from, see how different everything looks from each of our backups. It is worth noting I don't have all of the backups, unfortunately. Some of them I got rid of whenever everything got corrupted. And if you don't know what that means when I say that, there was a scare in this world's history that I thought that I ruined the save file by updating it to a new version. But thankfully it was very recoverable. My friend made a data pack that fixed the terrain generation, and that data pack also, as like a byproduct, fixed the stuff that got messed up. It's more complicated than that. That's like the dumb way of explaining it, but so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do a little bit of a tour, probably starting back at the old home, and talking about everything, because it'll be cool. I'm not going to bother going to like the stronghold or anything like that because I haven't built anything over there. But I will talk about the moment where we found out that pearls could work, because that's exciting. So if I seem like I'm being weird and talking to the camera, I am, because we're turning this into a video. So let me turn down friendly mobs because they're kind of loud, yeah? Okay. Where do you guys think I should start? Should I start from like right up here by the enchanting table? Is this a good, maybe lower that down a bit to 100? Is this a good spot to start, do you think? Or should we start like down here? That actually looks pretty good. I kind of dig that. That's not too bad. What about, like maybe right here? Or the other way? That's pretty good. You think that one's good? Are you talking about when I was on top of the melons and pumpkins? Or do you mean right here? We have some good choices. Actually, the second one. Follow your heart. That one. So this one right here. The one that I'm in. This one right here. On the grass? Okay. This is the one I like the most too. And Tidney said follow your heart. So I'm gonna go with that. Okay, how do I want to do this? I'm just gonna start yapping. I think I'm just gonna start yapping. Um, Trident in hand though. There we go. Okay. And let's not be hungry. Okay. I think that's good. Hello, my name's Judge. Welcome to my hardcore world. If you're watching this, either this popped up in your feed or you watched one of the other episodes, or maybe you just wanted to support me by clicking on the video. But this is my hardcore world. It is ocean only. When I made it a while back, I don't exactly remember the date that I made it on, but the biome that I selected was deep warm ocean, um, and it was the only biome that could generate. And it that is actually a discontinued biome that doesn't exist anymore. So if you go and look in the list of biomes, that won't show up. It's converted it to warm ocean only since then because of that update. I believe it was Caves and Cliffs Part 1, I want to say, that got rid of it. It might have been Part 2. It was one of the Caves and Cliffs updates. But it used to be deep warm ocean. Now it's warm ocean. And there uh, there have been some changes over the years. I've been playing on this world for 4 years. I started streaming during like the COVID lockdown, and this world was why I started streaming. It's why I made content, and it's probably the coolest thing I've ever done in any video game ever. And the reason for this video is I want to start doing a YouTube series for this as videos because a few people have been telling me I should, but it didn't feel right starting episode 1 in the middle of the series without or as like the middle of the world but as the start of the series without some kind of explanation. So if you came here from one of those videos trying to figure out where everything came from, just know that everything prior to this video was something that I streamed instead of doing videos for. You can find the VODs, they go pretty far back on my YouTube. Unfortunately, a lot of my VODs on Twitch got deleted because I terminated my affiliate contract when I first moved over to YouTube. Those VODs are lost to time, unfortunately. I do have the VOD of the first time I streamed this world, and maybe we'll chop that up one day and upload that, but I would want that to be more of like a special video. I'm not going to throw that in this one. That'll be its own separate thing. Maybe if I ever die and this world ever gets like turned into a museum of sorts, or if I hit like 10,000 days or something like that, we'll find something special to pull that VOD back out. But other than that one specifically and like a couple others, most of my Twitch VODs have unfortunately been lost. But I think we're at a point now where I've spent more time streaming it on YouTube than I have on Twitch, so we have more history than we've lost. Today I'm just gonna do a quick tour. This isn't gonna be like a super edited or super fancy video. This is more for just like if you really want to watch the YouTube videos and you want to know where we came from, or maybe you've tuned into one of my streams recently and you want to know like the history of where a lot of these things came from that I built and these things that I did and like some of the challenges that we had to overcome. This is kind of like it's just there for your information. So this here is a great place to start. This is my first base. I built this, I want to say, on my first or my second stream. Not the whole thing. It didn't look anything like this. It started off as just this right here. I found a sunken ship next to or not a sunken ship, sorry, a ruined portal, next to one and then two over here, ocean temples, ocean monuments, and that's where I wanted to put my base. I wanted to put my base over top of the nether portal because I figured going to the nether kind of early would probably be for my benefit, for various reasons at the time. So I just picked here as my home. And we built this little shack here. And I've spent the first good while in my world mostly just fishing and then boating around and looting sunken ships. Looting sunken ships is probably the easiest way to get like consistent diamonds and iron, if you ever decide to do like an ocean only playthrough for some reason, if you want to follow in my footsteps. But I was able to get all diamond tools and armor pretty early on without much effort and without much risk by just looting ships. You'd be surprised how easy it is actually in the early days. The biggest threat to you is probably phantoms, but you can just find a cave underground and hide from them during the night. And then once you've gotten yourself a bed, the only really scary thing is trident drowned, and it's very easy to just stay away from them. There's no reason for you to fight a trident drowned before you're ready. A shield makes them kind of trivial as long as you know what you're doing. Um, so the early days were kind of simple. We built this house, we did some fishing, we got some seeds, the pumpkins and melons that you see here, as well as all of the crops over here. Um, we got them and their seeds from various places. Most of them came from the supply chests in sunken ships. The only exception to that, I think, was wheat. I got wheat seeds from just using bone meal on moss blocks. And I don't remember if dirt does it too. Dirt might. But that's where I got my first wheat seeds. And if you're wondering where I got moss from, I was able to get moss from sunken ships as well. You can get moss blocks in I want to say the food chest. It's either the food chest or the map chest. I don't remember which one, but one of them gives you moss blocks. And once you have one, you have infinite. It's so easy to get more moss. And for the longest time, my house was just this little shack, dirt blocks here. I'm trying to remember. I had this kind of early. The way I got books, if you're curious, when you go fishing, you have a chance of getting leather, and then you can find an abundance of paper in map chests in sunken ships. And so I was able to slowly but surely make myself an enchanting table. And our first major goal of living here was to, I'd say, cure villagers. I wanted to get a villager trading hall, which actually used to be right here where these trees are, and you'll be able to see that in one of the snapshots that we pull up. Snapshots. One of the backups that I pull up in a little bit here. The way that I cured villagers was very complicated. I needed two things to make it happen. I had already done everything I needed to do in the nether. I had gotten blaze rods and all that stuff, gotten a brewing stand, all that stuff. I needed a zombie villager to cure, and I needed a potion of weakness to facilitate that curing. And of the ingredients of a potion of weakness, the mushrooms are easy to get. The spider eyes are easy to get. The most difficult part was finding the sugar. My original plan was to patiently wait for a wandering trader to sell me sugarcane so that I could grow it. And that did not work out because I actually only very recently got my first sugarcane on this world ever. It took 4 years to get sugarcane. It took 4 years. That's not an exaggeration. I went 4 years without sugarcane. The way that I ended up getting sugar, which actually turned out to be only the second best way of getting sugar, was I farmed witches. And while I was waiting for witches to spawn and waiting for a wandering trader to sell me sugarcane, I started the process of draining this water temple. And I used these guys are loud. I used a website that helps you make like relatively perfect circles in Minecraft, in pixels basically, pixel art circles, to determine how big I wanted it to be and exactly the ratio of blocks where you see glass here. And this used to be sand. I spent a good long while placing sand up in these pillars, in a big old circle around this place, getting it ready to be drained. And let me tell you, it was that was a big project. And I did that during the day. I had like a little platform over here for spawning a wandering trader while I was placing the sand. And I had a platform over there where you see that water coming down on the other side of my base for nighttime, hoping that witches would spawn. And neither of those two things panned out. I was not getting any witches to spawn at night. I think I only got like 2 over the course of like, I want to say like 5 or 6 live streams, all 2 hours or more. And I didn't get any wandering traders. That's not true. I got wandering traders, but they sold me things that were not sugarcane. Funnily enough, one of the first saplings I got was birch saplings. And if I knew a little bit more about saplings, I wouldn't have needed witches in the first place. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I ended up caving and building that guy right up there. That is my mob spawner. This is a relatively new addition, so don't really count that. This I built a very long time ago, and it's very inefficient. It is not built properly, so it is very slow. It is not a great mob spawner. I need to fix this, or rather, I'm not going to bother fixing it because I have a better system now than that. But that's kind of like a relic of the past, and I used this to get infected villagers, infected zombie villagers. There we go, and witches to spawn. And if you look right there, you'll see two little pistons right where my cursor is. I used pistons to push blocks in to isolate the mobs that I needed whenever they fell. And then I pulled out zombie villagers with boats. I pulled out the witches with boats as well, and then I didn't pull out a witch. Sorry, I killed a bunch of witches until one of them dropped sugar, and then I used that sugar to make a potion of weakness, turned that into a splash potion of weakness, cured two villagers, and then we were off to the races. All I needed was beds, and the villagers did plenty of breeding, and that was everything that I needed. I just needed them for that, and once I had two, I was good to go. And I had a villager trading hall right there where those trees are. Um, and meanwhile, during all of that, I was still working on draining this temple. And this temple took it was definitely over a year, though, when it was all said and done. It took over a year to finish draining and like terraforming the ground the way that it is now. And I'm still not done with the temple. This project is nowhere near finished. I want like a little like pond to be like right here with like a little like sitting area and like a fountain. And then over in the back, I want to put like a big tree that eventually has like a tree house in it. This is nowhere near finished, but the state that it's in now, where like the ground is walkable and the water is gone, that's like I call that like, let's call that like phase one, right? Phase one took over a year. And the biggest holdup was the second major hurdle in my world. The first major hurdle was the sugar that we talked about. The second major hurdle was getting the sand that I needed for this world. I needed so much sand. Um, Literally thousands and thousands of blocks of sand were needed. Now, I did use sponges as well, so I don't want you to think that I put sand on every block and then pick the sand back up. No, nothing like that. It was just sand needed to be around it in a circle until we were able to get glass to replace the sand. So all this glass that you see used to be sand. And then I had to section off the water into these like 5x5 pillars with sand to make it easier to drain the temple with sponges. Now, there are easier ways for me to get sand now, but back then, before things had changed, the only way for me to get sand was way down here at the bottom of the ocean. And I had to mine it. And this is like because I built this up a little bit. The sand in all of these older chunks is only 1 block deep. So I had to mine like entire regions worth of sand. In fact, I can fly over and show off one of the areas. If you see from like right around here, you can see that there are big spots where there is no sand, and instead there's like stone and gravel beams. And this is just one of the places that I did sand mining. This is just one place. And you can see these big old these big spots where I just cleared out all of the sand. And there's probably, I want to say, about like 3 or 4 of these just around the area. And it kind of extends over to the. And for a final count of sand, It is my second most mined block at 80,000. 80,000 blocks. And most of that sand I still have, actually, believe it or not. In fact, I can take us over there real quick. Mostly because I knew I would want to use the sand again for like another temple drain at some point. And so all of my sand is stored right here in this chest. Every single one of those shulkers is full of sand. They're all full of sand. And my goal is to one day have this double chest be full of shulkers full of sand. I want every single one of these slots to be another shulker worth of sand, which means I'm not even halfway done. But yeah. We'll talk about that later. So anyway, we did a lot of sanding, and there's an entire era of sand. And probably at this point in the video, I'll have a couple of screenshots popping up of what it looked like and some of the thumbnails and titles of my streams, so you can kind of make fun of me for going insane over sand over the year that I did. But that was like the second major like era of, actually let's reposition over the front of the monologue time. That was the second major era of this world, was the sand era. And once this place was fully drained, actually once it was halfway drained, I drained that left side right there, left for me, right for the temple first, and then we kind of like pushed our way to the other side. When I was done draining this side, I started to live in this area. I had my base over here. This little not fully broken pen that these animals keep getting stuck in used to be where I kept my llamas. If you're wondering where I got llamas from, I stole them from wandering traders. Sorry, liberated them from wandering traders. And I lived right here. This was my area. Now, this little thing right here would have saved me actually about a dozen hours, I want to say, if I knew the implications. If you didn't know, a neat little mechanic in Minecraft is if you take certain types of saplings, for example, a birch sapling, and you place it near a few flowers and then grow it with bone meal, it is a 5% chance to spawn a bee nest. And that bee nest can have a random number of bees inside. Now, that's useful because bees produce honey. And if you take honey and you put it in your crafting box here, honey can be used to make sugar. I never needed sugarcane. I never needed to kill witches. I could have just used the birch saplings that I got from a wandering trader and got bees. And yeah, but you know, it is what it is. We live and we learn, right? So yeah. After a while, I finished draining this ocean temple, and that kind of brings us to, I'd say, like the era that we're in today. I finished this project. I finished draining it. I placed all of this moss that you see. This moss went all the way around. I textured it with some other blocks and things. Some of these bushes, some pods all sprinkled in, some mossy cobblestone little steps, all over the place. And I recently started replacing it with dirt. We'll get into that in a minute. But this, I'd say that's like the current era. That's like that kind of brings us to today. The only other noteworthy moment would be when I first made this world. There was this interesting glitch that was happening because I had set it to one biome only, where the game didn't realize that it was generating strongholds, and I couldn't throw Eyes of Ender. And I just fully and honestly believed there were no strongholds in my world because of it. We thought that I would never have an Elytra or Shulker boxes. that I would never make it to the end. And I kept playing anyway. Like I was like, "Oh, I'll never beat the game." That's fine. I was okay with that. We were at peace with that. I didn't need those things to make my world interesting. And one day, I want to say 1.17.1 or 2. I don't exactly remember. I uh we had a bit of a scare where we thought that the world was corrupted. And there's a long story behind that, a long explanation. And I think that's a story best told on stream one day, and somebody will make a clip of it. So I'm not going to get into all of that. But some stuff happened when I was trying to update the world that deleted a bunch of chunks. A bunch of chunks. And it was not recoverable. As far as I was aware, it wasn't something that I could just fix. And unfortunately, or fortunately, one of the side effects of that was I was messing around with a backup of the world in creative mode with op. I didn't make progress. That save file's been deleted, but I was doing testing. I was testing to see if I could do things to like uncorrupt the world and restore some of those chunks and stuff like that. Was more or less what I was trying to do. Because I had like 2 backups that were really old, and I was just kind of like seeing if I could like move some files around and make stuff work. It's a really long, complicated story, and again, I'll tell that story more like on stream one day. But in the realm of trying to fix things, I did a /locate command, which you'll notice I can't do right now because I'm not opt, because I don't cheat. But at the time I was opt because again, I was testing, trying to fix things. I just used open to land and cheated that way. I did /locate on a stronghold to see if it was even worth trying to update the world. Because in theory, I could have just like at the time it was possible for me to just play on an older backup, an older save file, and just forget about updating and just not worry about updating the world at all. And when I did /locate, it located a stronghold. And I was like, that's interesting. That seems really close by. So I teleported to those coordinates, and I expected to see new chunks having been generated. I found the stronghold. It was there. It was fully loaded. It generated perfectly. The Eyes of Ender did lead me to it. But I noticed that it was in old chunks. It was in a part of the world that I had already generated. It already existed. It was something that I had already loaded. And so I was like a little confused. Like, that's weird. I can't throw Eyes of Ender in the current version, but it lets me throw it in this updated version. But this already exists. So I went back to my old save file, an older save file. I went to those coordinates, and the stronghold was there. The eyes still didn't work. I still couldn't throw them, but the stronghold did exist. And I was able to light the portal, jump through, killed the Ender Dragon, and beat the game. And that was the biggest like mind blow moment probably for any of the people who've been watching me from the beginning. We were all like, you have to understand, this is like over a year's worth of us just kind of being like completely being at terms with the fact I'll never kill the Ender Dragon. I'll never have Elytras or Shulkers. We will never enter the end dimension. But we did. All in a day. We did all those things in a day. And it was awesome. It was honestly like the most hype thing ever. And it made the world even more interesting. Because with Elytras and Shulker boxes, I can do so much more than I already can. Or than I already could at the time. Right? Like, to give you an example of how bad it was, when they announced chest boats, we were excited because that was going to be the most revolutionary transportation method for items ever. But with Shulkers and Elytra, I never really needed chest boats. We kind of skipped needing them, which is sad to think. Like, I could have done so much more if I had a chest boat in the early days. I would have taken so much more time to choose where my base would be. This world would look so different if chest boats existed, because I would have just stayed in my boat for probably a few weeks. I would have just gathered up like maybe even like a couple stacks of diamonds from looting sunken ships before I even settled on where I wanted to live. Um, but regardless, we were able to beat the Ender Dragon. We were able to beat the game. And other than that, we had the Sugar era, the End Dimension, and then the Sand era. And those are like the three major periods of time that have gone by. Now I would say what we're dealing with right now, this is kind of like the age of discovery. We've recently gotten trial chambers, which add a whole bunch of new stuff for me. We recently got like the sniffers. I know it's not super recently at this point, but like I'm starting to populate my world with mobs, because if you're curious, it's not possible for me to get cows, pigs, sheep, normal horses. There's so many animals that I can't have because of how they spawn and the requirement for them spawning. But there are a couple of little goofy guys that I am able to get my hands on, and this is like their world as much as it is mine. And we're just kind of learning all of the things that I'm able to do. We're learning the limits of an ocean world at this point. And that's kind of what we're going through right now. We're still building. We're still expanding our influence. Just the other day, we found the coolest generation that I've ever seen in Minecraft. In fact, I think we'll start flying over there while I continue yapping. Let me grab my screenshot, because I screenshotted the coordinates because I was in a hurry. And I don't have a coordinates book, which I need to make. But let's see here. No. Okay. We want to go to, let's just put it in chat. 1423 negative 1913. I found the craziest generation that I've ever seen a couple of days ago. And that is basically going to be the new that's going to be the new project is working on that. So we need to go in the negative Z direction. Isn't that this way? And we need to go in the positive X direction. That is also this way. Okay, we're good. We're gonna head this way for quite some time. But in this current time, we're just learning new things. We're seeing how far we can push it. We recently built a little villager area that I'll show off on the tour of the temple when we get over there, when we get back. But yeah, that's kind of like the history and leading up to today. I still have a lot of projects planned. I'm gonna be starting my Nether build at some point in the next in the next couple of months. That might be something I start on the new year. Actually, that'd be a nice 2025 goal. Would be the Nether build. And when I say 2025 goal, I don't want you to think like, wow, your Nether build's really gonna take a whole year. It might just, because that's how crazy my Nether build plan is. It's going to be insane. I've talked about what it's themed around before on stream, but if you want to avoid spoilers, I will give you the smallest teaser of telling you the name. The name of my build in the Nether is going to be Hell Frozen Over. And I will let your imagination run wild on what that means. But I still have an entire End Dimension build that I have planned. I don't have all of the specifics of that one planned out yet. But I have like a couple of ideas of some of the things that are going to be in it. I still have temples that I want to drain. We've only drained one. I want to drain at least like somewhere in the realm of like 5 or 10. Now granted, the next however many will take nowhere near as much time as the one that it took me before because I don't need to gather the sand. I have enough sand. I probably will go gather some sand because again, I do want to fill out that double chest. But it's also easier for me to get sand now because I have other ocean biomes. One of the other recent changes to this world is my friend Lego, who is the person who made the data pack that let me update the game in the first place without corrupting the chunks. Also adds the other ocean biomes. So I don't just have warm ocean anymore. I can also generate frozen oceans, normal oceans. If you go to the oceans section of the biome page on the wiki, I can generate all of those, which gives me access to so much more stuff. Frozen oceans mean I have a reliable way of getting snow and ice, which before, if you're curious, we originally thought that the way I would eventually get snow and ice would be if I found a way to get ancient cities. I could get snow blocks from one of the tiles and then make snow golems with that snow for an infinite snow farm. That was the plan. Which was a pretty good plan, actually. I'm going to give myself points for that. I need to focus negative Z. So we need to go like mostly this way. It is a pretty good plan. But I'm able to just find a frozen ocean now and get all of my snow and ice from there. Which I will need for that nether build, hence the name. This right here, I didn't have access to naturally generated coral blocks that you see right here. These are newer warm ocean chunks. Now I'm over a cold ocean. That's why the water changed color. But I want to do like themed ocean monuments for each of the different types of ocean. Like I want to do like a frozen, snowy ocean monument build. I want to do like a coral like coral filled and tropical fish surrounded ocean monument. I have some fun stuff planned for more monument drains. And we're just trying to make the world, we're trying to carve out our little piece in this big wet wasteland. You know, I'm realizing more that like the more that I say this is basically like Minecraft hardcore Subnautica edition. Like, I basically am just trying to make it as habitable as possible on this like water wasteland. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job so far. We're almost there. Just realized I'm going to have to fly back. So I probably should have done this at the end of the tour. But I want the tour to be like the final thing. So maybe on the fly back, we'll do a bit of a cut. So I'll stop yapping whenever it's time to fly back. So you guys need to watch all of that as well. But anyways, we're almost there. This thing that I'm taking us to right now is... I'm not exaggerating when I say this. This is not... I don't want you to think like I'm overhyping this or something like that. This is genuine. And this isn't just bias because this is my world or my ocean world. I genuinely have never seen something that shocked me or surprised me as much as this generation. It is by far the coolest generation. The coolest, like, let's say quirk of generation that I've ever seen in a world. Did I go past it? I did. There it is. That pink boat is the indicator. Now, you are able to find, if you go and look at my channel, you will see the exact moment where I found this. But instead, I'm just going to dig down and kind of let the situation speak for itself. Should be almost there. chest plate on before I go in there, actually. Okay, right here, you have a stronghold. But you might have noticed something on my way down that tube of water right there. You might have noticed that those bricks sounded a little off. And you might notice that in my hotbar, I have tough bricks. That's because this isn't just a stronghold. This isn't just a portal room. Because on the other side... Oops, well, I just fell in. This is awkward. On the other side of this portal room is a trial chamber. I would really love for this fire to get put out. And if we travel around this trial chamber, if we travel around this stronghold, you'll notice that there's a lot of places where it overlaps in a very interesting way. I also have a nice little geode right there that I'm going to automate. And this is absolutely going to be a place where I do some kind of crazy build. Because it's just some of the coolest overlapping structures. It is just by far... What is this? Look at that. I don't even know what this is. Anyway, sorry, getting ahead of myself here. It's just an incredibly interesting piece of generation. I've never had two structures like this overlap each other on a scale like this. I want to drop down here. I have to. Hello, lava. And obviously, whenever I found this, I was like, oh, this is these. Look at that diamond ore right there. We're not going to mine that. We're going to leave that. Like, I knew I was putting a build here. I have to, right? Like, it would be such a waste to not do something interesting with this. Having a portal room spawn inside of a trial room so that the portal room is both connected to a stronghold but also inside a trial chamber. I don't know if I'll ever find a piece of Minecraft generation that tops this. Looks like we gotta head back up. I don't know if I can easily. We'll have to tower up. And this was something I found the other day. And that's important. That's worth mentioning because the thing that makes that special to me is even after all this time, after everything that I've done in this world, after everything that I've built, this world is the world that keeps on giving. It just becomes more and more interesting. It just has more and more cool moments like this. And there's just no end to how, I don't know, beautiful it is. It's just... You know, there's still stuff to see. There's still sights worth seeing. There's still things worth exploring. Even after 4 years. And that's all to say, I'm at peace with the fact that this is a hardcore world. Like, look at that. I can drop down from this trial room directly into my stronghold. I've never seen anything like that. We got a key. Nice. You know, we got a little reward. We got a little reward for us. Hang on, let's see if we can find one. Here we go. Nope, that's another spawner. That's also a spawner. Let's go find a box that we can open with this key. There should be one around here somewhere, right? Oh, a couple of chests. Here we go. Some loot. Honeycombs and trial keys. Got it. Arrows, arrows, arrows. Diamond axe. Okay, wait, hang on. That's worth grabbing now. What's on the axe? Efficiency 2? We'll take it. We'll take it. And so yeah. We have like a few builds planned. We've got some stuff to do. I can't tell you how many times I've fallen through this little gap. Hi, how's it going? I need to get back to the water. No, not this one. Where's the portal room at? This way? I think it's down here. Yeah, here we go. So we're gonna swim out of here. But yeah. So now, one last thing we're gonna do. I'm gonna fly back to my base. I'll cut the video so you guys don't gotta watch all that, but I'm gonna give you guys a tour of the monument. That'll probably be where I call the episode, as far as the episode 0 tour. Then I'll start a normal stream. So to all you people chatting, I will respond to your chat messages as soon as we're done with that. Actually, we're doing a cut right now. Probably as soon as I got out of that cave. So I can talk to chat for a second while we fly back. What do you guys think? Am I talking too much? Is there any parts that were like boring? Or do you guys think that this so far will make like a good... Give me some feedback. Give me some feedback. Like, was that good? Should I do like a take 2? Maybe off stream? Should I not stream this? What do you guys think? No, I have to stream it because I don't want there to be any again, any accusations of like cheating. I think it's good so far. I've been vibing to it immensely. You are a little biased though, to be fair. You are a little biased. Are you still there, Tidney? If you're there, what do you think? Because you've been here sporadically over the ages. Do you think that was too much yapping, or do you think that was a good amount of yapping? You can look, guys. You can see the like. Hold on. I put this part in the video too, actually. If you look right here, I've stumbled across something that is just really cool. Like, this is a cool piece of like proof of history or something. I don't know what you would call it. But you can see this big old square. You can see like a line basically drawn right here. I guess it kind of goes like this. And then again right here. Of old chunks and not so old chunks. And it's just kind of cool. I've always thought that those, like, I don't know, it's like a weird and interesting little piece of, I don't know, it just makes it feel a little bit more like special and interesting to me. You have these like clear lines of the old and the new. And it's funny because some of the quote unquote new isn't even new anymore. Like the coral reef over here, that's not new. It's just newer than this. That's from like a completely different era. That's from the older version of the Datapack. You can actually see it right here. Here, look at this. You can see that I started to generate an ocean monument. I loaded this chunk, but then nothing else over here. So then when I came back later, it was like, no, you can't have an ocean monument there. So it didn't finish generating it. You have these really cool little like pieces of like separation in the world based off of like the different sagas, the different parts, the different points in history. And that's also something that I love seeing. I love seeing those and then like trying to remember when that could have happened and like pointing it out and being like, look at that. This has been here. Like all these chunks we're flying over right now have been here for 4 years. These are all old chunks. These are all old, deep, warm ocean chunks. All that coral over there to the left, those are slightly newer. Those came whenever we updated it the first time. And then over here, where you see the darker blue water, those are completely new chunks with the newest version of the data pack that lets me have colder temperature areas in the world. And that's just neat. That's just really cool to see, at least in my opinion. I've always had fun finding those little separations. This is a crazy coral reef. Look at how much coral there is here. The ocean, if nothing else, the oceans on Ocean Only are super healthy. There's so much fish and coral and seagrass and so many guardians. This is a very unpolluted world. Cleaner than Earth, that's for sure. We definitely have cleaner water than Earth's water. Probably cut this part out. Just flying back. Once we get back to the temple, I'm going to do a quick tour of each of the little individual things. Talk about how they were made possible, where they came from, and why I think they're relevant and all that stuff. If I had rockets, I'd go over to that nether portal right there and speed up our trip home a lot. Nether highways is going to be something that we do soon too. Think about that. I gotta blow a hole in the roof of the nether. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to do. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? How are the chatters chatting? Okay, now that we've made it back home, let's talk about each of the little pieces that make up our home and where they came from. I think a good start is this little shack. We kind of talked about this earlier, but I was able to make this shack. I picked this spot because I wanted the ruin portal right there, as well as the 2 ocean monuments nearby. If you're wondering where I got my first wood, you can get a lot of logs from sunken ships. If you go to sunken ships, the masts in the middle are logs. You can chop up those logs with an axe, bring them on your way, and that's how you get wood in the early game. Eventually, you will be able to spawn a wandering trader, and you can buy saplings. But in the early game, that's how you get your first wood. Cobblestone, it's as simple as I went mining and found some stone. And that's it. Brewing stands came a little bit later once I actually was confident enough to go into the nether, found a fortress, got my blaze rods, you know the whole story there. Over here, all of the crops, including the bamboo that you see over in this area, were gotten in the early days from sunken ships and the like. Some of the seeds might have come from like dungeons, but for the most part, most of these crops came from sunken ships. And that Between that and fishing, that was my early source of food. I ate a lot of salmon in the early days. A lot of salmon. This chest used to be like full of salmon. Um, this guy up here, again, you get leather from fishing, and you get paper from the map chests in sunken ships. So I was able to make my enchanting table, and I decided to put it on my roof because I think it just adds to the view. I don't know exactly why I wanted this here, but I just did, and it fits. I think it fits really well, and I enjoy it right here. And that's that. Down here, you will see some chickens. Now, fun fact, when it comes to like livestock mobs, the only ones that I can get are chickens. I can't get pigs, cows, sheeps, none of those. I can get chickens. The only reason I can get chickens, the way that I even have chickens, is interesting. Very, very early on, one day when I was just fishing, I believe I was fishing right here, I saw a chicken just floating in the water over there. And I was like, what? That's crazy. And I grabbed some wheat seeds. I ran over there. I lured the chicken over here. And I put a name tag on him. And threw him in this pen. And it's really good that I put a name tag on him, because he was a chicken jockey chicken. Chicken jockey chickens are interesting for a few different reasons. One, they despawn, unlike normal chickens. Most livestock mobs, chickens, pigs, cows, sheep, etc., they will not despawn. They are given the persistent tag if they're in an enclosed space. That's why, like, pens work. That's why, like, a cow pen or a pig pen work. Chickens are the same, but not chicken jockey chickens. Since I gave them name tags, they were given the persistent tag. Now, another interesting part about chicken jockey chickens is they do not drop eggs. Only normal chickens drop eggs. So, one chicken jockey chicken is not enough to get multiple chickens. Whereas normally, whenever you're making your little mob area, whenever you get a bunch of cows in a pen or a bunch of pigs in a pen, you only need one chicken, because eventually the chicken will lay eggs, and then you just use the eggs to lay another chicken. And it's very easy. Wow, he's really getting away. It's very easy to snowball and get a bunch of chickens that way. It's very, very easy. Also, I almost broke my elytra flying home. Crazy how far away that is. I'm going to turn off hostile mobs because that's kind of annoying. So I needed a second chicken jockey chicken. And eventually, one day, I want to say like maybe like a week or two later, I saw another chicken jockey chicken just swimming out in the ocean. Lured that one up on land, gave him a name tag as well. Bred the two chicken jockey chickens. And that baby is a normal chicken. It is not a chicken jockey chicken. That chicken is given the persistent tag by being in a pen and can lay eggs. So once I had that baby, it was over. Once I had that baby, I had infinite chickens. And the chickens that are name tagged, I actually have 3 of them because I also got a third chicken jockey chicken later on, but they're still here. I gotta find them real quick. There's Sauce. He was the second one. Or no, he was the third one. There's Chicken. He was the first one. There's Nugget. He was the second one. And then Sauce is right here. And they are spelled Chicken, Nugget, and Sauce. My chicken jockey chickens. And they're just silly little fellows. They've been here forever. Some of my oldest friends. But not my oldest friend. My oldest friend on this world is over there at the temple. And we're going to go say hi to him in just a second. This little spot right here is my axolotl retreat. And now I built this in a version where this was still deep, warm ocean. And I did not have an interesting mob called the pufferfish spawning randomly all over the place. Now, I don't have the axolotls in here anymore because pufferfish were able to spawn in here and attack and kill my axolotls. which was very annoying. Right now, the axolotls are comfortably safe in this chest until I will make a base at a biome that cannot have pufferfish eventually, and then I will build them a better retreat. I will build them a better little home than this. But this was temporarily where they lived. And it was probably the first like creative build that I ever did on this world was this little spot right here, this axolotl retreat. It's made out of moss because grass that you see over here, this is a very recent thing. For the longest time, for years, all this grass that you see was dirt. In fact, you'll be able to see that in like literally any of the backups that we look at in a little bit. This was all dirt. Over here, this is where Liam, my son, who's been playing on this world with me, I open it to land so that he can join me. He built this little tree farming area. And this has kind of been like one of his projects. He's been getting saplings and stuff for over there. But this used to be a villager trading hall. We will also be able to see that in one of the backups. And yeah, that's my home. The only other noteworthy thing, but we talked about earlier, was the crops back here. I need to retill this land. Now we're gonna head over and do a quick tour of the temple. The temple has a lot of old and a lot of new. The first thing that I had built over here was this glass all used to be sand. I did a whole big old circle of sand. And then right over here, out the front, I had a nether portal with a bunch of chests. I want to say, like, probably right about here. I wanted it to be far enough away that the guardians that were spawning wouldn't target me. So it was probably right about here. That spot that had a nether portal, out of that nether portal came my second friend. Actually, not my second. He came after a lot of the mobs over there, but he was one of my earliest like friends on the server. But we'll get into them soon. And then I cut this place in half. I drained this left side, and this left side was my home. And much like over there, all this moss used to be sand. And over here, I placed a little bit of dirt for me. This podzol came from a big old spruce tree that I grew. And I used to have my bed, I want to say like, I think like right here. I think like right here is what I would say. If I had to guess, I'd say these 2 blocks. But it was somewhere in like this area. I grew some crops over here, so I didn't have to go all the way back anytime I needed crops. It is very trampled right now because the sniffers have been walking all over it, which is fine because I'm going to be moving this anyway. I made this little area for the bees. They have flowers. They've got moss. They've got this nice little like enclosure. And the reason why they're all enclosed and the other mobs are not, by the way, is bees have some of the worst and dumbest AI in Minecraft. They try to kill themselves on purpose. I swear. They're just that silly. So they're locked up for their own good. This is not animal cruelty. This is for their betterment. Freedom is the worst thing that's ever happened to bees. Let me tell you. So, that's why they live in here. Going inside, before I finished draining the whole area, I did drain the interior. I had the interior drained for quite some time, actually, because it was my first, I would say, like, forever home. I guess over there technically would be. This is like my second forever home. And this is Butter. He's a relatively new addition to the family. But I put my trading villagers over here whenever I wanted to move them from the other side. I built a little automated pumpkin and melon spot right here. Here's my cats. Here are my chickens. These chickens are not like the others. These are just for getting eggs. Those eggs are for something that we'll talk about in a little bit. Here is my first ever friend on this save file. One day, when I went past my nether portal that is underneath my base over there, I heard some yapping. I heard somebody groaning at me. Somebody saying some not nice things And on the stairs down to my mine was this little guy. And I built him a nice little room down there. He had a campfire, he had a bed, he had a jack-o'-lantern, and he had a dispenser with a bunch of fun stuff in it. I even put the dragon egg in that dispenser. And to this day, I still say the dragon egg is technically Noodles. He just lets me borrow it. He's a nice guy like that. And I would genuinely, after hardships or tense moments or like when I almost died, I would come and tell Noodles. I would tell him, like when I came back from a mining trip and I was going back up to my base, I would go and tell him about how much I got from mining. Those were the days, let me tell you. He's been around for a very, very, very long time. And if something were to ever happen to him, I would probably actually cry. I would probably actually cry in real life. He's just my bud, you know? My first friend. He's like, if you've ever seen the movie Castaway, whenever he starts to go crazy, so he like puts a face on a volleyball and names him Wilson. Noodles is my Wilson. He's just been here. He's just been here for a long time. And I'll spoil it. I'll spoil it. One of the plans that I have for Noodles is I want to commission art of Noodles. But it's going to be pixel art of my character and Noodles like doing something. Maybe like my character giving Noodles a dragon egg or something like that. But have it be pixel art and then recreate the pixel art as a map and hang it up in his room. Hang it up like this. So there's a fun little spoiler for you. I've wanted to do that for a while. It's just I don't have money to commission art right now, so it's on the backlog. But that is something I plan on doing. Over here, I got dripstone eventually from wandering traders, and right now it is being purposed to make more dripstone. If you didn't know, if you have a pointed dripstone underneath a dripstone block underneath a water, it will slowly grow itself or the pointed dripstone underneath it over time. And the reason why I want more dripstone is, well, one, it's useful in a lot of different automated farms. And two, it is the way to make, sorry, I have the hiccup suddenly, renewable lava. The reason why the lava is right behind those, if you didn't know, if you have dripstone underneath a block underneath lava with a cauldron underneath it, eventually the cauldron will fill up with lava, and you can take that lava out with a bucket and be returned to an empty cauldron. And so you can make one lava into infinite lava. It's very useful. Over here, we have our villager breeder, which is currently activated. These guys chill in this area. They can pathfind to these beds, so they make babies. Babies run to the beds when it's nighttime. They fall in here, and that's that. Only the babies can run through because these trapdoors make it so that the adults cannot make it through. They get stuck on the trapdoors. And then I have a little trapdoor on the bottom there that makes the collection system, which we'll get into that once we get back outside. Over here in the middle, I've got my little to-do list, which needs to be updated. I've got my beacons, which are giving me all sorts of fun buffs right now. Resistance 2 and regeneration are so useful to a hardcore world. If you'd like a hardcore world tip, making your first beacon give you regen, and then something arbitrary like speed, and then your second one giving you resistance 2. It is such a nice, like, call it like an insurance plan. With resistance, you just take 20% less damage. And with regen, even if my hunger is not full, if I take damage, hang on. If I take damage, I'm not even gonna take damage because of the resistance. Hang on. This is funny. Okay, hang on. I gotta take off all mine. If I take damage, I regen without touching my hunger. My hunger isn't full. I don't even need to eat food. Because I have a regen beacon, it just goes right back up to full. It is super useful. Once we step a little bit back outside, we can show off some of the more recent things. Right down here is my little villager infector area. What are you doing over here? This isn't safe for you. Did you get stuck because of the things? You did, didn't you? Let's move you out a little bit. There you go. This is my villager breeder. Or not, sorry, not breeder. The breeder is right over here. I'm able to scoop these guys out with a minecart by putting a minecart here and pressing this button. And the minecart like runs past, and it just barely overlaps with their hitboxes when they're stuck on this block. So it scoops them up, pulls them over here, locks them on here for when I'm ready for them. I open this trap door, press this button, and the minecart gets stuck on that powered rail. This guy will infect them, turn them into a zombie. I then press this button, which sends them this way, and I've got this little lever to decide which one of these I want to lock them on. The reason why the glass is there is it's a transparent block so they can't suffocate, but their head is inside of it so they can't target. And so even if either of these guys was infected and if I stand here, they won't attack me. So I lock them both on here. I have a dispenser here with potions of weakness in it. If I push this button, the potion falls straight down, blows up on this lever, which is just high enough to make the potion hit both of them. And then I just golden apple, and they both start the curing process. So I'm able to cure 2 guys per potion. Just makes it a little bit more efficient. Technically speaking, I could cure like a dozen with 1 potion, but this is like a very step-by-step system that makes it very easy to keep track of. Once they've been cured, I flip this switch, which turns the track this way. If I push this button, he gets pushed off and goes out this way, stuck right here just to make sure that nothing goes wrong, make sure that he is fully uninfected. Hit this button, and then this rail sends them over here. And this area is the newest current creative area in my world. Liam, my son, built this, and this is what is supposed to be like an old-fashioned Minecraft village, and that's it. It's just a recreated, like, slight twist, a little bit of like inspiration taken from older Minecraft village generation. And I figured that by making something that is normally taken for granted, that you see all the time, in a place where it's impossible for it to be, just makes the world feel all the more customized. So, like, normally you want your village to look super custom, and like people build these really cool looking fancy houses with a lot of design and texturing and make it look like really over the top and interesting. And then you walk inside and all the villagers are trapped in little trading stalls and this, that, and the other. Instead of doing that, I wanted it to just look normal. And I think it works really well, actually. This feels like other than like the glass, obviously, with water behind it, this just looks like I stepped into a normal Minecraft world. And I'm thinking maybe I should have done like light blue to make it look like the sky a little bit more. I might go through and like replace that, actually. But I don't know. It just feels like special and cute and interesting to have like what looks to be a normal Minecraft village having generated here. And eventually, just so you know what the plan is, most of the villagers are free roam. Some of them are technically confined, but let me tell you, it is not. Oh, how did you get up here? You don't belong up here. How did you get up here? Go back down, sir. I think he's having a hard time going back down the ladder. I'll fix that later. But the ones who are confined, they're not trapped in their little training area. This cartographer has his whole room. He's got a workstation, he's got a clock, a bed, crafting table, a map of the monument right here. He's doing quite well. He's got a little painting right here. Up here is eventually going to be my cleric, and I'm similarly going to give him his own little digs. He's going to have his own little space, his own little room. And I think you get the idea. Even this place is not done. I still need a few more villagers. The farmers just kind of chill over here. But it is coming along quite well. It is not finished, but when it is finished, I think it's going to look darn cool. It already does look darn cool. The only other recent noteworthy addition, the last thing that we'll stop at, is this guy over here. So if you see this big old pillar, do I not have my spyglass? Yes, I do. This big old pillar right here And then that thing right there are a bit of a combination structure. If I fly into this little water spot, go all the way up to the top, this takes you right to my XP farm. Now the way this thing works, I'm gonna turn hostile sounds back on just so you can hear how crazy efficient this is. But I'm gonna keep it very low because man, is it loud. It's based off of a YouTuber's design. I will put that YouTuber's video in the description. I don't remember their name right off the top of my head because this was built like I think like 2 weeks ago at this point. But that down there is a collection system. Now the way it works is I'm so high up that I only have like the very top of the water loaded down there on the bottom, on the ground. I don't have any caves loaded. And the way this works is because I have the water loaded, I actually only have up until like there loaded. I don't have anything back there loaded. It's all the water underneath that thing right there. Underneath that, there's a bunch of soul sand that pushes the guardians up through the scaffolding, and then they just bounce around like crazy in there because guardians are crazy. Eventually, they will accidentally bounce into nether portals. They get sent through a collection system over on the side of the nether, and they get spat out right there. After they're spat out, they bounce out of the portal, fall down this tube. They land on these iron bars right there. It's a little bit too zoomed in. Those iron bars right there, and you can kind of see them at the bottom of my screen in the glass. They take just enough fall damage to not die. Some of them do die. Like you can see some cod right there and some prismarine crystal right there, but most of them live. I'd say like 95% of them live. They then get pushed by the water on top of these two fence gates. And right here, I can sit, and one single swipe of my sword kills all of them. And this is, look at how fast it's mending my stuff. This is where I get all of my XP. And it's also where I get, mend the shovel. It's where I get all of my XP. It's where I do all of my mending. And guardians drop a lot of very useful things. First thing, they drop prismarine crystals and shards for making all the types of prismarine. And sea lanterns, so I have like infinite light sources. And the other thing that they drop is cod. Now, if I use a sword without fire aspect, they drop raw cod. If I use a sword with fire aspect, they drop cooked cod. So this is like infinite food. I can just sit up here forever and just get a bunch of cod, and I've eaten so much fish on this world, it's crazy. Now, the raw cod is, in a sense, even more exciting than the cooked cod, at least to me, because food is it's an easy thing to solve in any Minecraft world. Generally, food is not hard to get. The raw cod, however, gives me something very interesting that I enjoy. If we take a little short flight back over here, you'll see what was the point of making that in the first place, as well as the point of building the trading area in the first place. So if I go through here, I have these barrels right here in this corner, which are for storage, but serve a second purpose other than storage. They are the job block for fishermen. Fishermen buy cod for emeralds. And that is just... Hang on. That is my favorite source of emeralds that I've found. There's a lot of useful villager trades. Like, I have automated pumpkins and melons. So, like, I can come talk to these... where are they at? I can talk to these farmers and... like just give them like a stack of melons for a stack of emeralds, or the same thing with pumpkins on the other farmer. But I feel like trading fish that I got from my guardian farm in my ocean world is just more, I don't know, it feels more thematic. You know what I mean? It feels more I don't know. I think that just it feels more on brand. That's what I would say. And so that's been the recent grind. It's been getting emeralds for various things. I can use certain villagers to get blocks that I otherwise could not get. Wandering traders, for example, give me access to a very cool block that I can never, ever, ever, ever get in any other way. Here, red sand. If you're wondering why red sand is in the ice chest, originally trading with wandering traders was the only way for me to get ice even. But that's a conversation for another day. Now I can get frozen oceans. So I do just need to move that ice into another chest. But there are certain blocks that I can only get from trading. Sugarcane is another one. And again, I only got sugarcane very, very recently. Which is cool. But also a conversation for me. So yeah, that is my ocean world. We've come a long way. You've seen, you've now heard about the history. You've heard about all the eras, all of the sagas. We've looked at a lot of like the history and talked about where things came from. Last thing that's worth mentioning is this dirt that you see here is eventually going to be grass because we recently got grass from a cave. There's a clip of that in my clips over on YouTube that you can find. But we recently got grass, which is exciting. Can ice be placed in the nether? I believe blue ice and packed ice can. I don't know if normal ice can. But I know blue and packed ice both can. Because that's what you make, you know how people make those bridges on SMPs? Those big old ice boat bridges? That's what people make those out of. Packed ice and blue ice. Because they increase the speed of your boat by a lot. So, you can place those things in the nether, yes. You know, you're not dumb. It is a good question because technically speaking, you shouldn't be able to. If the nether is so hot that it evaporates water, then how doesn't it melt the ice? Like, if we're being realistic, that should not exist. The ice should melt in my inventory. If anything, that'd be a really cool game mechanic. You know how you can never have the water block in your inventory unless you use like glitches? You can only have buckets of water. It'd be cool if you could take a stack of ice into the nether and then it would be turned into a stack of water. Like that'd be really cool. That would make more sense than being able to put the ice. The beacon looks cool, by the way, doesn't it? Come on now. That looks sick. Me when solid water in hell. So yeah, that is the ocean world. And it is not done. We still have a long ways to go. I still have a lot of things to do. There are people that I would love to invite to do little contributions. And whenever I do meetups with friends, I plan on having them log in on LAN and letting them build something that adds to my world. Actually, wait. Sorry, there is one more thing worth mentioning. This is a small thing. It's not a small thing. It's a huge thing, size-wise. That up there is a statue of my friend Void Iable. If she looks a little out of place, it's because she is. Eventually, we're going to move her to the end, because I have a big old end build that I want her statue to be a part of. But I built that I wouldn't call this part of Ocean Only canon. I built that for her subathon. One day, she was doing a couple years ago, she did a subathon that did really, really well, and it went on for like a couple of weeks, and she needed people to cover streaming for her while she was sleeping. One of the nights while she was asleep, I built a statue of her, and it actually looks pretty gosh darn good if I do say so myself. I think it's a really good statue. If I stand like... Oh, hang on, we're being harassed. Let's go sleep. If I stand in like the right spot, and then go into F5 with my FOV set to the right number, it just looks like there's somebody standing right behind me. It just looks like another Minecraft character, which is like on accident. That's not why I put it there. It just happens to be in a spot that the place where I stand and do my intros is like almost the perfect like distance to look like we're standing together. Hi, fellas. Are you doing okay? Okay, that's all of them. So if I lower my FOV a bit and then walk a little bit forward. Hang on, let's crouch. Hello, Mr. Squid. Bro, can you... Okay. The squid was in my way. But yeah, like, it just kind of... Like, if I were to, like, take a screenshot like this and then, like, scaled it down for a thumbnail, it would just look like two Minecraft characters. Right? I'm not crazy, right? Like, if... Imagine the quality was, like if you squint... Actually, here's what you do. Squint your eyes while you look at the stream right now and tell me it doesn't just look like two Minecraft people. It's so good. It's so I think I did great with the statue, honestly. I think it looks fantastic. Let's fix this. I was squinting already. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, it 100% looks awesome. Yeah. Now again, eventually this will move because, first of all, as much as I love my friend Void, I don't think she fits right here. I think this looks very out of place compared to everything else. And second of all, I just think that I could do something more interesting with her than having her standing right outside my home. I just think that there's a better place for her. So she's going to go in my eventual end build, but that's far away, so I don't know exactly when we're going to move her, but at some point we will. For now, she keeps a watchful eye over the base. Literally just one eye. She only has one eye on her Minecraft skin. She keeps a watchful eye over everything for us whenever we are sleeping or away doing other things in the world. So we're very thankful to her for that. But that is that is my ocean world as it is today. We'll probably do a little bit of a cut in the video here, because I'm going to pull up all of the old backups. We're going to fly around in spectator mode and see everything that's changed. And I think that'll be kind of cool. So if we save and quit, we have to do a little bit of finagling here. Open backups folder. Okay. Here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to... Oh, by the way, speaking of old backups, Tidney, since you're in the chat, this will be a bit of an aside. I still have the hardcore world that you and me played together when we first met. I still have that. So if you ever want to, like, look at that for some reason, just let me know. If you ever want to do something goofy with that, I still have it. It's still on my computer. I haven't gotten rid of it. So, just let me know. I learned my lesson. I never delete Minecraft worlds ever. I never delete them because you'll think I don't need this anymore. I don't talk to that person, or like I've seen everything there is to see. Something will happen and you'll be like, oh wait, remember that time? And then you'll be like, I'm sad I deleted it. I never delete Minecraft worlds. I still have it. I still have our hardcore world where, like, I don't remember exactly when we stopped. Like, I died and then we decided we didn't want to end it because we really loved the seed. So I just respawned but had less hearts. So we did like kind of like a lifesteal thing. Like, I just had less hearts and it was cool. Like, that was a cool idea. Whereas, like, we were like, if we stuck with it, it was an island. It was an island. Yeah, we got a survival island seed and it had like a village on it. It was so cool. It was so cool. And I died, of all the things I could have died to, I died to a baby zombie. I died to a baby zombie. So dumb. Anyway, do you guys, I'll ask you guys, should I go one by one backwards in time on the backups? Or should we go forwards? Should I go to the oldest backup and then go forward so we can see how it's changing? Or should I go backwards so you can see little changes? Both of them have their merits, right? Backwards? We have one for backwards. Clearly. Now I have a couple of backups from the last. I'm not doing the one that was in October or September. I'm gonna go further back than that. I was gonna say go the other way, but backwards is chill. I think they're both good. There's reason for both. There's reason for both. Dark Wolf says backwards, and it seems very enthusiastic about going backwards. So I think maybe we should do backwards. Um, I'm gonna start with what is this? August 12th, 2024. Then oh wait, no, don't do that. August 12th, 2024, which is kind of recent. Oh, that put it in the wrong spot. Hang on. Okay, copy, paste. Okay. And then we were going to rename this for sake of ease. Rename it um, 1.zip. Okay. Then we will do one from 2 months sooner. Copy, paste. Or no, I'm going to name them based on the dates actually. So this was August 2024. This was June 2024. Then we've got. Oh, no. I'm so wrong. There's a year of no backups. That's got to be when I was doing Cryptid Craft because I wasn't doing any ocean only. This is a year difference. June 2023. Okay. We have May. No. This is April. Sorry. Copy, paste. This is going very slow. These files are huge, so this is going to take a couple minutes. So I apologize for this boring bit in the middle here. This will all obviously be cut out in the video. Okay, well, while you're losing your mind, um, we have dude, it's like broken. Hang on. You're playing mind-numbing apps while watching. What app are you doing right now? Okay. Um, copy, paste. What is happening right now? It's like freaking out. These files are big, so I understand, but anyway. We will rename this one. This is April 2023. This is February 2023. No, not 2030. Oh God. No. 2023. Chill. Okay. This is December 2022. Well, we're getting really far back now, guys. Here we go. December 2022. This is August 2022. And then the oldest one that I have on here is December from 2021. And that's crazy. That's crazy. Boom. All right. We have some options here. Idle breaker. What do you do in idle breaker? Okay, extract. This is gonna take a minute to extract all this stuff. Extract. 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 And extract. Okay. While that's running, zombie apocalypse world thingy. Nice. Nice. I'm gonna go get some beverage and use the restroom. I will leave you guys with a classic. Since we're going back in time, we will revisit the old humor of my streams. And I'm gonna leave you guys with the wonderful, amazing song, Coconut Mall. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Let's just turn down Coconut Mall. I won't stop it. Are we done? Okay, wait, actually we're done. I will stop it. We are done extracting. We are done extracting. So I need to organize these now. That's February 2023, August 2024, June 2023, April 2023. So that goes between the February and the June. We've got December 2022. That goes all the way back there. August 2022. That goes all the way back here. December 2021. Hang on. This is September 2022. Yeah. No, this is September 2023. Hang on. I need to rename this one. And this thing is still like broken. That's fine. So we're gonna drag all of these into my worlds folder. Oh no, Open world folder. Perfect. And just drag and drop these right in there. Perfect. And they should be right at the bottom. If I go back, single player, I probably have to close the whole game. Hang on 1 second, fellas. We're almost there. Oh, wait, no. Hang on. They're in the folders weird, aren't they? They are. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We will move them out one by one. Never mind, because it totally messed up the order. How do I want to do this? Let's do new folder worlds. Worlds. And move these back out here. Wait, can I? Where did they go? Okay, there. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so new folder worlds. Okay, open this. Move all of these into right here. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna put. I'm gonna put these back in order. Hang on. So we need August 2022. We need December 2021. We need August 2024. We need June 2023. We need September 23. Goes right here. We need April 2023. We need February 2023. And then we need December 2022. Perfect. Okay. So rename December. Hang on. December 21. And then move that over. Then we need rename. This is August 22. Move that over. We need December 22. Move that over. We're almost done. Sorry about the wait here. February. So rename this one. Feb. No, not Seb. Feb 23. Move. Then we need April 23. Move. Then we need open this. Rename. June 23. Move. And then we need September. Two more. Rename September 23. Done. Move. And then we need August 24. Move. Beautiful. Then I can delete all these. Delete this. We're good. And then if we boot up the game, current version. Oh, wait. It might give me a hard time. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's going to give me a hard time about the data pack being expired. But these are backups that I'm not going to be using anymore. So that's okay. You can see that I changed the name at some point. Oh, the versions are saved. That's kind of cool. You can see the old versions. The old versions. That's so sick. Um. Well, anyway. Uh. So we are starting with the most recent and then going backwards. Is that what we decided? So like top to bottom here. Is that correct? Is that what we determined? I like how this one says 718 when it literally said 818 on the file. Or not 818, it said like 824 on the file, so it looks like I don't know my months, but I do, I swear. Um Wait, this one they did not go in order. Oh wait, no, hang on. I named this one wrong, didn't I? Because this says September 2024. Pretend that says September 24. Pretend that says September 24. We're just gonna jump in and see how things have changed. So this is relatively recent. Um, the heck? Hang on. We're gonna open the LAN commands on and put it in creative. Put ourselves into a little bit of creative mode. So this was a very recent one. The reason why we're here, I can already tell you, is because if I drop down into spectator and look down underneath, you will see a trial chamber right over here. The map took us to the place where the trial chamber was, but didn't actually show us on the map where it was supposed to go. Which was really annoying. It was hard to find that. But as far as like what's different, which way is home? I think this way. If we just fly this way, we'll get home. But this is going to look mostly the same. There will be very few differences. There is no Guardian farm back this far. The Guardian farm was too new, and the village did not exist in September. It might have been started. Like you might see like some of the glass is placed down there, but the village itself is not there. Um, Please? Hello? Maybe I am not going the right way. Well, let's just get coordinates. I have coordinates written down for a reason. Um, Ocean world coordinates. All right, so teleport to negative 2,800, 100, 59, 85. There we go. So yeah, if we go back far enough, you'll notice. Wow, there's no trees. Look at how barren this looks. Look, isn't that crazy? Look at how different it was just a few months ago. Just a few months ago. Look at how different it looks. Like that still looks good, but it looks like it's so empty. It's so like it looks like I gave him a haircut. The statue is still here, which is really funny. But like I don't know, it looks just there's no life here yet. You see how fast things can change? Isn't it crazy? That's just a few months. That's just a few months. Um and like even this guy looks small by comparison. By the way, I know what's wrong with this darn thing. I needed to build this up one more and put trap doors there so the mobs would accidentally walk into the water more. That's why this thing's so darn slow. But yeah. Um Look at how different it looks just a few months. There you go. So um that was September 2024. Pretend that says 24. Now if we go back to August, a little bit further back, back into 1.19. Let's see how it looks here. Open no line commands on creative done. We still have villagers. I should have gone inside the temple. The old storage system looks terrible. All this is still here. The beacon was inside the temple for a while, not underneath it. Still looks barren, obviously. I don't think anything is really all that different from what we were just looking at. In fact, I can say with confidence, this is basically what it was in the September one. The main difference is this is still up here because this is whenever I like had retired the world for a while because I was doing February 11th, 2023. Special thanks to Darkwolf Nezian Trainer. This does not exist anymore. That's not there anymore. Because thank none of you. Thank none of you. You never. No thanks. No more thanking. I don't think you guys anymore. It's still pretty barren. Will any of these have Tony? Yeah, if we go back far enough, we'll probably see Tony. That's true. But yeah, still looks mostly the same. So that was September 23, June 23. I don't know what this is gonna look like. Open the LAN. Still the same. This doesn't look really any different. This I'm trying to think what I did in all that time. It must have just been like I don't know. Oh, you know what? This was probably the one from the statue. I think if we go back one more, I don't think we'll see the statue. I don't remember. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what's different, guys. I really don't know what the difference is. The old, terrible Guardian farm is still here. Okay. In between the massive gap. Yeah, it definitely was. So now we're on to April of 2023. Oh, we logged out by Noodles. That's cute. Well done, me. LAN. Yeah, no, the statue's still here. Pretty much nothing is changing right now. I did not do a lot during these streams. I was probably like gathering and stuff and preparing, and I did a lot of like end busting back then. I was getting like shulkers and stuff. Why is Noodles in jail? We put him in there so that he wouldn't get attacked. I was afraid of an iron golem spawning somehow. I was afraid of an iron golem spawning. And I did not want him to get murked. I guess I was just doing a lot of gathering back then. There's a lot of like no progress. A lot of no progress. Okay. Nothing really worth seeing. So far. February 2023. This is going pretty far back. What did I just pick up? Oh, here we go. Now we're starting to see some differences. This is right after we finished. In fact, you can see the ground's not even fully textured. So hang on. Here we go. Now we're starting to see some stuff. So this big old wood thing that you see, this used to go all the way across from right here, all the way over here. And that was there for helping me drain the temple. It was like a big old wall. And the beacon has a really tall glass because I liked to go up here and look down at my own face for screenshots. Like, this is just a really good screenshot. It makes it look way taller than it is. So now we're starting to see some difference. Because like, look at how less textured it is over on this side. This is literally just moss. And then I still have cactuses. You remember when these used to be cactuses instead of crops? That's a while ago. That's so long ago. Bees are still here. The horses are in their little pen. Toast. We have this guy who recently was murdered. I killed him for his ominous bottle. Yeah. That's about all that's going to be different here. All right, let's go back another. We are down to December of 2022. Here we go. This is what I was talking about, by the way. This is one of the corrupted ones. Errors in the currently selected data pack prevented the world from loading. We'll just load it in safe mode. Look at this. Here we go. This is a big piece of difference. Look at this. Look. This is so crazy, actually. Look at that. It's sand. Look at how different it looks. Look at how different it looks. Let's grab a screenshot because I'd like to get a comparison. It's just sand. It's just sand. It's just, and look, you can see the torches. If you're wondering what these torches are, you can see these. This is the grid that the sand walls were on. Because what I would do is I would break a sand block and then put a torch down, and it would break the whole. The game just crashed. No, it didn't. It just alt-tabbed. That was weird. It would break all of the sand. It would break literally all of the sand. So I would just break one, and the sand would fall. Look at my inventory is full of sand too. Craziness. Do I have a bunch of sand chests? Hang on. No, wait, where's my storage? Hello, boys. My storage is, I had to have all my sand over here. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, wait, no. It's up here, right? Yeah, there it is. All my sand is going to be like, look at all the sand. Look at all the sand. Okay, well, these are not all full. But they eventually were. They eventually were. There was so much sand. So much sand. And then this used to be full of sand too, because this is where I was making glass. Wow, I used to be rich. What happened? What happened? What happened? Here's Ramen, by the way. One of the other important friends. His pumpkin will never come off. It has cursive binding on it. What are these? My wood and plants and such. And by the way, Ramen has a boyfriend. His name is Cheese. Yeah. Oh, here, wait, guys. The Villager Trading Hall. This is what the Villager Trading Hall used to be. It was this like Blackstone netherrack junk with just a bunch of villagers in it. And this iron golem scared me so often. I was so terrified that I would accidentally left click a villager and then my world would end. I hated this building because I was always afraid I was going to die. I did a raid here once too. I started a raid with this village. That's what this sand pillar is for. I was up here shooting all of the evokers and stuff. Now it's starting to look different. We're not far back enough yet that the axolotls are in here. Interestingly. But that's okay. August 2022. Oh, the wall is still here. The wall is still here. Look at how bare bones this is. Look, here's my bed. You remember I was telling you my bed used to be over here? This is where I slept. I had Jerry the cat. He would give me gifts. Tony! What's up, my dude? How is it going, Tony? So, if you're wondering, this guy died because lightning struck this glass and killed him through the glass. So that's why there's a big old end tree sitting right there. Tony died sitting in... He was in this boat for like a year. Literally, he was sitting in this boat for like a year. And I fully intended I was going to give him a bedroom. I was going to give him furniture. I was going to give him a really long, like double long bed. I had this whole plan for Tony. Tony did not get to see the fruits of his labors. Unfortunately. We miss him. He's still our friend. He's still a guy. And we care about him. There's so much sand. Hang on. What is this going to look like? Oh, wow. It's not even a grid right now. Look at that. It's not even a grid yet. I had this cool little contraption right here where if I stand right here and place sand in front of that piston, it would automatically start pushing the sand. All I had to do was flip this lever, and it was like a clock. And then these things were extenders. So whenever the sand would fill up right here, it would push the sand that way whenever these got activated. So it made it like automatic. It made it so nice. So nice. But that is a very long time ago at this point. I can actually maybe show how it works. Hang on, let's see. We'll go into creative. If I do I not have any sand? Well, we'll just do this. I think if I just hang on. If I break this top row, we will show how it works. I made a more efficient version of this later too. But this was... So whenever sand falls in front of that... Oh, wait, no. I needed to make that taller is what it was. That's why it's not working. But the way it would work is this observer would see sand fall in front of it, which would make this piston push. And so I basically needed to flip these around. If I flip these around, it would work. And it made it so that the sand would place itself. It would like, we get like a full row at 10, 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 and so on. And it made it a lot easier to put in all this sand, let me tell you. Let me tell you. We have one left. And I think I know exactly where this one's logged out at. And man, is it special. Yeah. The oldest backup I have is when we found and lit the end portal. Jumped into the end. Killed the Ender Dragon. And this, I was shaking when I first did this. My hand was shaking. My hands were shaking. I was freaking out. I had my stream muted, or my mic muted, and I just let the gameplay kind of do the talking. And I just, kind of flawlessly, if I do say so myself, killed the dragon. I had no risk of dying. I had no close calls. I just very calmly and carefully got rid of every end crystal. Like so. And then eventually the dragon perched. I dug in like this. Get underneath her. And then when she landed, I just killed her. Beat the game. And that was it. Now let's go back to base real quick. Hang on. / execute in overworld run TP Judge Alexander. And then the coordinates are negative 2,800. No, not 28,000. 9 or 5,600. Let's see. Or sorry, hang on. 5,800. Did I do that wrong? No, there we go. Wow. Hang on. This used to be scaffolding. Look, it's still half. Look at this. Look at how far back this is. Look at how far back this is. This is crazy. I used to live in this little box with Ramen. It was me and Ramen chilling in this little box. This was his cake. I shared it. And yeah, I would come over here. I would wake up in the morning on that. Whoa! Chill. What are you seeing? Okay. Chill. Chill. Anyway, sorry. A very excited goober. Trying to, like, steal our thunder here. What were these? I don't know what I was doing with those, honestly. I would wake up, I would walk across this bridge, and then I was clocked in for the day. Literally. I was clocked in. We would sit here and we would build these by hand, one by one. And you could see, like, I would do some draining and then I would do some building, and man, was this an activity. This was quite the activity. This one I built too small on accident. Oh, here's the other version of the auto placer. This one I actually liked it better. I don't know why I switched to the other one. You'd fill this up with sand so that it would give you more sand. It was basically 9 additional inventory slots. But as soon as you put a block here, the piston pushes it. And so the sand would place itself. Was the temple drained? I want to know. Did I drain the temple yet? No, I did not. The guardians are dead. The elder guardians are dead, but I had not drained this place yet. You can see, like, my little base that I made for myself while I was fighting him. Because you can stand in the door for air. Made myself, like, a little, like, he was in this room. One of them was in this room. That's why these doors are here. And look at the difference. Look at how much things have changed. It's crazy. It is crazy. Is Noodle still in the old area? Oh, yeah, he's definitely down there, actually. We can check out Noodle's old room. It doesn't have the dragon egg yet, because I haven't killed the Ender Dragon this far back. Obviously. But he's definitely still down here. Where's he at? Here we go. Here's his bed. Here he is. He's got some bone meal, some moss blocks, some golden apple, golden carrots, this little campfire. It's just his house. It's just where he lived. I had an iron door here so he wouldn't get lost down in the cave, because I guarantee you he would have walked down there and I'd have never seen him again. He always stood in this little block, didn't he? He would always sit at eye level with his campfire. So maybe it was, like, really cold down here. I don't know. But yeah, he would always stand right there. Yep, and then he would jump out and come say hi to me. And then the reason why the bone meal's in here, by the way, is because it makes a little poof whenever it tries to throw out a bone meal, which is just cute. There we go. We got a moss. And so just like I called this Noodle's toy box. I love it. I love this thing. Here's his jack-o'-lantern. It'd be quite damp, which would probably mean that it was quite cold. That's true. I should have gave him a little bit of an upgrade back then, but, like, this was always meant to be like temporary, so kept it warm with the campfire, and he made do. He made do. Are the axolotls in the retreat? Hello, kittens. Does this look any different? No, this looks exactly the same. This all looks exactly the same. But look, it's dirt. It's not grass. Are they in the retreat? They are. Look at my boys. Look at my boys. Look at my handsome gentlemen. I love this so much. I wish I could still have this. I love this. I could sit in here for hours. This is so cute. This is so adorable. There's so many of them. This just makes me happy. I'm just sitting here with a big old smile on my face right now. Hi, hello. my gentlemen, my handsome fellows, my boys, my handsomest of men. One day soon, I'm gonna have to do the. I'm gonna have to breed a bunch of these guys and try to get the rare special blue one. I don't know what I'm gonna name him though. No idea. I'm sorry I'm not saying anything. I'm just like literally smiling at my screen. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything special. I'm literally just sitting here smiling at the fact that my axolotls are all just in there squeaking. Just makes me so happy. Whoa! Wait. Trident for the road. I don't have looting. But he can still drop it. Trident for the road? No trident for the road. Dang. I used to be rich. Why does becoming a dad make you poor? why is that a thing? Why does suddenly you become not rich when suddenly there's someone relying on you? God, this has been such a happy little way to vibe. Let's just summon TNT. Sorry, I wasn't expecting it to be that dramatic. All right, we're deleting all of these. I wonder. You wonder what? That's it, guys. That's the clip. Judge dies on the Hardcore World Series over. He was standing in his old base, and TNT killed him. Oh, whenever you summon TNT, it has a fuse timer of 0. Why you would have less money with a kid? Oh, yeah. Well, you know. Okay, so now I need to move all of these back and then make sure that nothing broke. Let's move those over. If anything did break, that's why we have backups, so nobody panic if it doesn't work. If anything broke, there is a process to recover. We should be fine. Everything should work fine. Yep, we're good. That's the exact phantom membrane from whenever we logged out because I was dueling them up here. So yeah, we're good. Everything is fine. That's look at how different. Look at how different it looks. Look at it. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's actually insane. How different it looks. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. It's been a wonderful 4 years. And this ocean world, in a very roundabout way, is like one of the smartest decisions I've ever made and has done so many good things for me. Just because this is the thing that made me even remotely passionate about streaming. And that's changed so much for me. I've made so many friends, made so many important connections in my life. And I can thank this ocean world, this silly little Minecraft hardcore project, for being the thing that made all of those things available and accessible. And I'm not done yet. Imagine what this place is going to look like when we hit year 10. Cuz you saw how much has changed just in the past few months. Not like cuz like getting to this point took so long. One, because I took like a year-long break. And two, because I had nothing to work with. Now I have like my own land, my own base, my own space. And so I can actually start doing fun things. Like building a guardian farm that makes it's like very efficient experience. I can actually get villager trades that give me access to like rare blocks and blocks that aren't accessible anywhere else in the world. I have so many things available to me now to help speed up the process. The next temple drain is not going to take 3 years. It's going to take like a couple of streams. It's going to take like 2 weeks. It's going to take like maybe a month if I do it by myself and Liam doesn't help. It's only up from here, my friends. And I'd love to do some meetups and have my other friends visit the world. I would love to see a Tidney contribution to the ocean world. I would love that. That'd be cool. Like, we've got options. We've got things. This world's going to look sick. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm just going to say this just in case it happens. I fully expect that the way this world will end is one day I will die. One day I will die, and that will be the end of Ocean Only. If that happened right now, I'd be okay with it. I would be okay with it. I would be sad. I'd grieve a little bit, but like I'm happy how far I've come and what this was to me while it was around. I would perfectly be okay with the story ending. Now, I don't want that to happen. I'm not going to go out and die on purpose. That's absolutely not the case. But one day I am going to make a slip up. I'm going to jump into a cave when I'm underprepared and get jumped by a baby zombie with my elytra equipped instead of my chest plate. And I'm going to mistime my god apple and I'll die. Like, something's going to happen. You can build? I know. I've watched your streams. I think your builds are like, I think they're adorable, honestly, would be the word I would use. They're very cute. I also like your method. I like watching you walk up to a place, be like, oh yeah, I'm building something here. And then as you build it, I don't know, there's like this, I guess you'd call it the Tidney process. You just like decide it as you go kind of thing. Like, you'll just be like, now we're doing the roof. And then you're doing the roof. And it's, I don't know, I just like it. I dig it. I pay attention. I pay attention to my friends. I know how they work. So there will be contributions made. And I have things planned, and depending on how much of that I get done, that whether or not I want to or not, or if I don't get the chance to because I die or whatever happens, I'm already happy with the way it is, but I'm not done yet. And even if I died right now, I'd come back. I'd come back for something. Not to this world, but like I would do something else. I would find another project to throw myself at. I would decide something new was what I wanted to do instead. We would just switch. We would just pivot, right? We would just pivot. And I'd be okay with that. I would be perfectly content, perfectly happy with just making a slight adjustment and just having this be a nice little piece of history. I think it's only 9 o'clock. Like, I feel like I should be ending stream after what we just did. But, like, I don't know. Like, I could go do something. I could place more dirt. I don't know. I feel like this is a good spot to end. Because we're gonna chop this up into a video and just making it, I think, making the VOD a little bit easier to like trim through and cut through. Because the video is not gonna be 2 hours and 27 minutes. No, it's gonna be like, I'd hope to get it trimmed down to like 45 minutes, honestly, which might be an impossible task. Maybe episode 0 won't include going to all the previous versions. Maybe it'll just link to this stream if people want to see the earlier versions. I don't know. We'll think about something. We'll think of something. But I think I'll end here. That was a very satisfying little thing. Wasn't a normal stream. We didn't make any progress at all. But that's because we had a different agenda today. We had a different objective. And I think we succeeded. I think we pulled it off. It was good to see you, Tidney. I'm happy to see you in my chat. It's been a while. We should chat. We should talk. I'll hit you up on Discord if that's okay. Yeah. I think we will end it right there. But because we're gonna end, is there anybody I can raid? Actually, hang on. Is there anybody I can raid on Twitch? I can raid the Pi Samurai. Copy,
not yet.
Mute. /raid Pi Samurai. I'll see you guys over there. Say hi to Pi. She's really cool. I did a lot of content with her back on Crypticraft. She's very nice. Yeah. Good night, everyone. See you later. Take care.